Day, obviously this is a class that we're extremely excited about. This is a class that's been 4 years in the making. When you look at coming in the door, had to go through quite a bit of challenging moments, experiences, unanticipated circumstances with COVID and not being able to get on the road, but when you see this class and the way that it's all come together, we got 17 out of our 21 announced signees, here from the state of Florida and Georgia. That's something I'm really proud of. We wanted to be prominent within these two states and be able to go after the best players within those states, and you'll be able to get here to Florida State. And this is it's a great group. I mean, you look at the balance. We got 12 offensive players, 8 defensive players, and your best kicker in the country. Coming into the program, we're able to address a lot of needs, not only for this upcoming year, but also as we project out to what the roster is going to look like in these next few years, just within different positions where we were able to add depth, where we're going to be able to add competition, and this was a class that we wanted to continue to attract the top playmakers, and I think we've absolutely hit a home run when it comes to that. Offensively, I mean, you sit there and you look, able to get one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and we're one of his first offers. It was before, he had all the rankings and all the things, but I mean, we saw something special in Luke, and he has just continued to do all the things that we believed that he would ultimately become, and I think that he's just getting started on this journey, and that's when you have that at quarterback. I mean, these guys are they're remarkable young. He's a remarkable young man. He's done a great job of building the relationships within the class, but just with these guys that we've had these long-standing relationships, guys that have been committed for multiple years, and you see the growth that they've had. You see the players that they've become, but also just the relationships that have been forged within this group. It really is special, and I think when you look at the offensive side of the ball, we're able to get 2 running backs that I think are dynamic playmakers in Cam and Makai. I mean, both guys are game changers in what they do. Their versatility, not only with what they do, carrying the ball, they're between the tackles, but also what they can do, catching the ball out in space, great playmakers in that regards. We're able to get, 4 receivers that I think are all, special talents. And I mean, you look at, we have different variations of, size with Elijah. I mean, he's got great size, great skill, tremendous ability, definitely, a dynamic playmaker. You look at Cam, Camden Fryer, tremendous speed. I mean, this is somebody that, obviously, that name is special here at Florida State. And, with his dad, with his uncle, the legacies that they left, and now Camden's going to get an opportunity to come forge his own path. But he's got game-changing speed and how he runs, the ability, the potential that I believe of what he's going to bring. Wayne McCoy, coming from South Florida. I mean, I think he's one of the most electric players in the country. Definitely one of the best players in the state, one of the best players down in South Florida. Just really a special talent, and somebody that I think is going to bring a dynamic ability into what we can do and how we can utilize him. And then, B.J. Gibson, coming from mid-Georgia, just definitely a special player with how he can change the game. He's so very versatile, a 2-sport star, that I really believe that is going to be able to, really add a different dynamic and element to this offense. You look at tight end with Landon Thomas. I believe is the best tight end in the United States of America, and he was one that, it's been 4 years, and watching hhim grow from his freshman year to where he is now. I mean, this is a guy that we think has big play potential coming in from day one. Definitely going to compete, for an opportunity to impact this next season. But glad he's going to be getting in early and to be able to watch him grow. But definitely a special talent there from South Georgia, and really impressive in all the things that he's going to bring into the program. And once again, just a tremendous young man. Your offensive line, you look at the size, the length, the athleticism. We got four offensive linemen that are coming in. I think when you see the versatility of what those guys can bring, huge upsides, great ceilings. I mean, from Manasseh coming from California, coming over. He was on his official visit here this last weekend. And just tremendous length, tremendous athleticism. You're really excited about what he's going to bring to the program and watching him grow and develop. Jonathan Daniels from over in Pensacola. I mean, was an early target for us. A guy that I think he's got all the upside in the world, and he's a guy that we've worked with, we've seen. It was very well sought after, throughout the recruiting process, but really found a special fit here, and excited about what he's bringing to the program. As you sit there and you look, we got Ty Hilton. I mean, he's coming in. I think he is, probably one of the most versatile players that we have, coming in. I think he's going to have the potential to be able to play across the board on the offensive line. Extremely intelligent, very, very smart. Is just, he's one of those guys you talk about the right fit. I mean, he was a home run for us. A guy that I don't think he's missed a practice in I want to say 3 years at his high school. I mean, hard-nosed, tough. Really just a dynamic, dynamic addition to our offensive line. And then Jaden Todd. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the biggest human beings that we have coming into the program. I mean, a guy that has tremendous strength. You're still at the front end of where I think his potential is going to go, but it was a big time get for us, and somebody that we identified early, he came over, whether it was camps, whether it was building the relationships. I mean, just really excited about what he can bring to this program, and obviously the opportunity that's ahead with him. Flipping over to the defensive side of the ball. I really, you look at that defensive backfield, and we knew that this year we had a couple of seniors and guys that are leaving our program that had tremendous careers. Really like the group that we signed this last year. I think we have some wonderful players in that, but we wanted to be able to continue to add those guys with playmaking ability. And starting off, you said there you got Kai Bates that's out of Orlando Edgewater. Definitely a special talent. Great length, former receiver. Definitely a guy that as you've seen his transition to the defensive backfield, what he brings, the mindset of how he competes, but a former receiver with dynamic playmaking ability is a guy that we're really excited about. I think one of the stars of the class, Charles Lester, he does it all, and every time that he steps on the field, he's going to change the game. And Charles is a guy that we've built a tremendous relationship with. He's continued to grow and just put a showcase on his athleticism and just overall skill set. It was a top target from us from the very beginning of this class, and so excited to be able to see him a part of this program, and a guy that we're expecting really big things from. As we can continue to progress. Ricky Knight is another defensive back that I think has a huge upside. He's so very versatile, can do a lot of different things. Coming out of South Florida, one of the best one of the best playmakers, there in I think in the country of what he brings. A guy that can play nickel, he can play corner. He's got length, he's got ability. Really like the way that he's grown throughout his career. And then Jamari Howard, that was a guy that we identified early and said, I mean, this guy can be a key to our class and obviously to our program. I think he's one of the biggest upsides of anybody that we've signed. I mean, he is a special player. Remarkable young man, so excited about the element of just playmaking ability. I mean, you've seen him in his high school film. I mean, he'll play corner. He'll play in the slot. He'll be able to play safety. I mean, he can do all those things. And so we're going to start him off at the corner position. And but I definitely think that he is a dynamic player and just brings tremendous skill set into our secondary. And all those guys, when you look at their ball skills, when you look at the opportunity to make plays on in space, the speed that they have, the length that they have, it was something we really wanted to address in our defensive backfield. I thought we had a home run there at that position. Linebacker, I thought we were bringing in two really good playmakers, guys that are tough, guys that are physical. Jaden Parrish from down in down in South Florida, a guy that, has really done it all for his program. We identified him there, early in his junior year, and just watching his growth, his potential. He's got great size, great length. A guy that, he brings the knockback. Whenever he gets there, you definitely feel his presence out there on the field. Unbelievable young man. Can play sideline to sideline, but also has that toughness that's necessary there in the box. And then, Tamir Collins coming from South Carolina, definitely excited about what he's bringing. He's smart, tough, really, for not the tallest guy in the world, has great length. I mean, unbelievable arm length. Came into camp, you see his versatility. He can play in the box, he can play outside the box. I really like his skill set and all the things that he brings. Very mature for his age. I mean, he is a complete football player. And, whether he's blitzing off the edge, whether it's, key and diagnose, I just really like the skill set of what he's bringing, and think that he's going to be a great player, being able to have some of that versatility, probably a little bit similar than, to what Kalen DeLoach could do, where he could line up at width, if he had to remove out, but also can live there in the box, if necessary. As he's continuing to grow up, and then moving down, to the defensive front, really excited about D.D. Holmes. I think was a guy that we identified early in the process. Just an incredible young man. Coming out of the DMV area, he's going to impact the quarterback. He was one of the best pass rushers. Obviously has great size, great length. He shows toughness and physicality to be able to play against the run. But I think he's going to be a guy that has a huge ceiling. Was really a key to us as we were coming into this class. And so very excited about being able to have him join and all that he's bringing to our program. And then going inside, Jamari Flagg, been committed to us for a good while. Out of Booker T. Washington down in Miami. I mean, unbelievable young man, great playmaker. Very instinctive, got great quickness. Has a versatility to play the three or the nose. Really going to be a matchup problem. He's got good length. But what I love about him is just the explosiveness that he shows. He is a playmaker. We've had him at camp his junior year. You fell in love with him in just the way that he worked and all those things, and watching him to continuing to progress. It's been a lot of fun to see. But just excited about this group, and I'm excited about the guys and what they're bringing into the program. I think it really is a special group. We talked about. I will touch on Jake. Jake Weinberg. Our kicker. He is the best kicker in the country. Coming out of high school this year, and we identified him early. We knew that. With Ryan, he still has another year of eligibility. We are expecting Ryan to come back, but this is somebody that can come in and be able to compete from the jump. And he's got unbelievable leg strength. I mean, but he is he's just a really special athlete that I believe is going to have a wonderful career here. Is going to bring a great dynamic to our special teams and what we're doing within that group. Like I said, there's going to be a couple. There's potential for some additions to the class, I would say, as we're continuing to progress. But really excited about this group, and just like I said, the guys that we have. And I know I touched on the running backs a little bit, but that's a group that with Cam Davis and Micaiah Dancy. I mean, I love what they're bringing. When you see guys like Trey Benson, that what he's been able to do over the last few years, and to see a guy like Cam and a guy like Micaiah with their home run hitting ability, I think it's going to be a really special group. There's so many people that go into this process, and whether it's our recruiting staff and personnel, they've done the countless hours of investment in time, and just whether it's the preparation for on campus visits, whether it's it's making sure that we're doing all things to showcase all of that Florida State has to offer. I mean, it's a special group that we have here. Tremendous relationship builders. Our coaches. The time that's spent away from home, and as we're out on the road, building those relationships. But it was just great to see all of it coming together. I mean, the professors, here at Florida State, sacrificing their time to come and share and paint the picture for these young men, that what their future future can be here as a Seminole. I mean, there's just it's really a collective effort, and there's to see it all come together with a great group of young men. I mean, this class, I mean, it's highly rated and sought after guys, but I'm gonna tell you one of the best group of young men and the character that they have, the hearts and relationships that they built, even in a short period of time. Excited about what they're going to bring to our program, and definitely believe we got the right fit, coming in. So, looking forward to seeing it all, gel together. A lot of these guys, I think we're going to have, 10, 11 of them that will be here in January. So it will be a good group that's going to be starting early, so we're going to be able to see them, start their path and get them into the competition. And a lot of these guys, I think, have the opportunity to impact here, as freshmen, and then definitely early in their careers. So with that, I'll go ahead and open up the questions, and you'll go from there.
First one will be Ira, to your right.
Luke and Cam not only have been committed for a long time, but they also they went to commitment ceremonies. They took a real active role. Just how important were they throughout this whole process?
No, I mean, it's about the relationships, and it's not just. Today is a celebration. It's a celebration for those kids, for their families, for all the work that they put in. For us, it really marks the official beginning. But there's been so much time that's gone into it. It's just another step along the way. And to see the investment in people that these guys have shown, whether it's to each other, to this class, to the group that's coming in. I have a lot of confidence in what this group's going to be able to accomplish, because I already see the way that they interact with each other. You see the like-minded approach to which they bring. Yes, they are very, very talented, but when you take great talent with tremendous hearts and work ethic, I mean, the sky's the limit to what you can accomplish. And the guys you mentioned, Cam, Luke, I mean, Charles, a lot of those guys, I mean, just spent so much, energy in investing in a relationship. Well, that's going to pay off when they're here, and when they're not starting at ground zero. They've already been pouring into each other, and obviously that's going to pay such great dividends once they start this process together.
Hey, Mike, two-parter here. What position group or groups does this class most positively impact, and also what groups you still need to go get more guys and feel there's a pressing need?
Yeah, I mean, I think that each position group has been has really been positively impacted with the guys that we've been able to bring in. I think each position group has an opportunity for guys to come in and play early, to add to the competition that we have. I think when you look at a roster in today's age, it can change. It can change quickly, and there's a few positions that we're going to continue to evaluate. Where we are as we continue to move forward. But I think we were able to hit across the board. I mean, like I said, there'll be probably a few more additions here in the near future that we'll see and we'll get, and we're definitely excited about where it's heading. But those are all things that we'll continue to focus on as we move forward.
Coach, you mentioned you got on a lot of these kids early that you signed. How important is it to build those relationships, when they're underclassmen, and just to see the growth and to see how they grow as kids, as humans fit in the class?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's big because they get a sense of who we are, and I say it all the time. Florida State's not for everybody. It's it's for it's for guys that truly embrace the work. They embrace not only what they're going to do on the field, but the expectations there off the field. For them to be able to see that play out, it is something that. That's why you see, I think, some of those relationships that forge early and are built. And when you see talent, that's one thing. When you get to know the heart, when they get a chance to see all of this play out. There's some guys in this class that we've been on for 3 and 4 years, and you talk about a vision of what's ahead, but they got to experience it. They got to see it. They kind of got the behind the curtain look at what all goes into it, and that's it's exciting because we all have to say yes. We say yes to them. With the opportunity, they say yes that this is where they ultimately want to be, and to be able to help push this program to another level. And that's, I think you look over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, we've done a good job in our evaluations. I mean, we just finished this last season, 13-0, and we offensively, defensively, special teams. I mean, we got some dynamic players and guys that are going to be taken very high in NFL draft this next year. And it's when you find that combination of great talent, great young men, you invest and build that trust, over the course of time. I mean, it's great things can happen. And I definitely believe this is a special group.
Coach, Landon signs from Colquitt just up the road. Mackay's obviously here in town. Camden just about an hour away. When you have elite talent in the Big Bend in South Georgia, how important is it for you not just to recruit those Florida and Georgia guys, but those guys right in your backyard and pitch to them that, hey, everything you need is already here?
No, I mean it's obviously huge, and to be able to have that, have those guys that are so close in proximity to come in and be a part of this program. I mean it's special for them. It's special for their families. It's special for Florida State. You look through the history of our program, and all the great players that are local, that are in that Big Bend area. In South Georgia. I mean that's why 4 years ago coming in, it's been such a big emphasis. And, it's one thing to sign a player from an area. It's another thing to get the best players, from those areas. And to be able to do that here locally, to be able to do that, within the states of, Florida and Georgia, I mean, it's big for our program. And so I'm really proud of, our staff. I'm proud of, all of the work that's gone into it. Our players, our current players do such a great job of, really selling the opportunity that's here. And it's as recruits come in, as they go through their own experience, all I tell our players is, man, be truthful. Tell them exactly what they can expect when they get here, because I owe it to our current players that every person I bring into the locker room, they've got to fit. I mean, they got to be about the same things that we push towards each and every day. That standard, the expectations, and they embrace that. They embrace some of those challenges, and so when our players get to share that story, the experiences, the relationships we have within our team, the culture that has been built. I mean, that does wonders. And for the guys that are close and local in proximity, I mean, they've been here so many times that they've really got to live it with us. And so, it's definitely exciting and big for the program to get those guys to jump on board.
Mike, you're in line to have your highest rated recruiting class since you've been here, and you just said it was 4 years in the making. I'm wondering how much the success of this class can be attributed to the turnaround that you guys started last year and the success from this year.
Well, I mean, I think, you look at when a lot of these relationships started being built. I mean, there was, at the beginning, it was talking about the vision. I try not to say anything, outlandish at the beginning, other than the fact, just watch us. Like, this is what I believe will happen. This is what I believe will occur. And these are the reasons why. And it wasn't saying, hey, we're just going to win some games. No, I want you to watch all aspects of the program. I want you to watch our team GPA. I want you to watch what our players do within the community. I want you to see how they carry themselves. I want you to see how they respond to adversity. I want you to see, the playmaking abilities and how we utilize them offense, defensively, and special teams. That's what I wanted them to be able to experience over the last few years. And then as you build trust, when you can paint the picture, and then obviously they see how it plays out, and they can start picturing themselves doing those same things and continuing to elevate the program. So that's what's been a lot of fun for us, is that I remember Luke, the first time he came out to camp, we're getting to know him, he's getting to know us, and I think about the growth that he's had from that camp experience. I think Mackay might have been at the same one, as it rolled through. But I watched those guys. I mean, to see them grow and become what I believe they would, and still stay true to who they are, stay true to the work, to the relationships, to just trying to be the best in all that they do. And it's a two-way street in it. And I'm grateful for the guys that are coming to be a part of the program, and I'm grateful for everybody that's been a part of the program. Just painting the picture to what we're all about.
Kind of following up on Andrea's question, like when you do start getting this proof of concept, when all the hard work starts manifesting into wins, I guess how quickly can that impact recruiting success? Is it instantly? Can it be years down the road? How, as a coach, do you evaluate like what we're doing now? How can it impact us in the future?
No, I mean it's I think it definitely has an impact. Because you go after the best. I mean you got to be a part of the best. And there were guys that. a couple of years ago, some of them took a little bit of a leap of faith. Some of those guys, had, and really it was both on our end. I mean, there were some guys that came in that are some of our top players right now that might not have been the most sought after, or that had all of the recognition or accolades. Well, I mean, we jumped in that journey together, and as we've grown and as they've grown, I mean, you see the proof of development. You see the proof of relationship, of building trust, and so. I think that's a big part of it. But now, as we've had the success that we've had. I mean, it's there's a lot of people that want to be here at Florida State, and we got a lot of I think you can't just post a record and say, all right, now we have this record, come play for us. No, I don't, because it's so much more than that. It's about going to find the right guys, the guys that fit this program, the guys that understand what it takes to be able to not only achieve success, but to be able to sustain the success. And that's what we've kind of sought after. And it's been it's been a lot of fun, for us as a staff these last few years, just seeing not only the great talent, but also the character that's behind the talent. Because I'm not recruiting just talent. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that are really tall, really fast, but if they don't have the desire, the want to, the heart, the character that to maximize that talent, then that's where you see. Some of the disappointing stories and some of the disappointing experiences, and it's really just about finding every guy that we're bringing in here. We have a plan for development, right? And they're going to help our program continue to develop to where ultimately I believe that we're on track to getting to. And so I mean that's where that relationship merges together. But when you have that success and you have that talent and it comes together, it's definitely exciting.
Coach, obviously you had a really good defensive back group. I think a lot of great kids in there. Charles Lesser in particular. Just talk about him as a leader. I know you recruited him for a long time, but just what he brings from either a personality standpoint or just a leadership standpoint that you noticed early in the process with him. Charles
definitely has personality. He is, but he's got a pure soul, man. You think about. You think about him, and he cares about people as much as as anybody that as you recruit somebody, you get to know him for 3 or 4 years. I mean, he's as pure-hearted as really anybody I've been around, and I mean he wants to be around great people, whether it's coaches, whether it's mentors, the teammates, and he's what people don't understand about Charles. I mean, he's one of the smartest football IQ players that I've probably been around in a high school process of recruiting. I mean, he is extremely smart, and he understands what it takes. I mean, he's had a transition in high school, going from high school to finishing up at Venice, and I think it's one of the great storied programs in the state of Florida. And watching his transition, and just hearing the things from the coaching staff, his teammates, watching how they all rally around him. He has that infectious personality, and he's going to put in the work, and you see the impact that he can make. And so, we have the highest of expectations for him, and I'm excited to help him continue to grow and develop to all that I believe he can become.
You mentioned the versatility in the football field, but you also have a couple of signees that could do track, could do baseball. How important is it to sign players with different skill sets that can also translate in other aspects?
Yeah, I mean it's always unique to itself, and it takes a special human being to be able to do that at this level. When you look at the talent and ability of our other programs of what it takes, I mean. These guys, they have to not only have the skill set, but then also have the maturity and the work ethic to be able to achieve at that level as well. And I think we've definitely hit a home run when it comes to that. And I try to paint the full picture, and whether it's you're talking to the coaches in the other sports and how this is going to happen, laying out the plan, you'll be able to set the expectation, and these guys embrace it, and you have that mindset and work ethic. Coupled with some incredible God-given talent and the opportunity we present here at Florida State. It's one of the unique dynamics that makes Florida State special. You look back in our programs past, and all of the incredible two-sport stars that we've had. I mean, it's definitely a unique opportunity for these guys that are coming in, and excited to watch them on their own path and journey.
Next week,
when it comes to roster construction, obviously you have 21 guys here now. Do you foresee, you talked about getting a few more high school kids. Overall, with the portal and everything else, do you have a number that you'd like to get to? I know it's fluid.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a work in progress, to be honest with you. And, I like where we are sitting here on signing day. I mean, obviously there's a few guys here and there that still having to focus on when it comes to the high school ranks. We'll see the different dynamics of guys that we are or positions that we might pursue in the portal. But I really like where we are when it comes to the overall roster construction. You see some of the balance within the signing class of a couple spots with 4 guys here, 4 guys there, and then being able to address some needs at variety of positions. I know I touched on running back was one that we wanted this to be a 2-back group and you look at how Cam and Makai marry up with each other. I mean, I think that can be one of the most dynamic backfields in the country, and with those 2 guys coming in. So we'll always but we'll look at where our roster is, especially coming into the spring semester, and just like last year. We had some guys that chose to explore other opportunities, and it opened up a spot for guys like Keon Coleman. That worked out pretty good for us. So I mean, we'll see where that goes. But it's always kind of a fluid situation, I guess, in today's world of college athletics.
I'm going to ask 2 completely unrelated questions, not multi-layered, just completely
unrelated. Cool.
Yeah, new territory here. One is. You mentioned Cam Fryer, the fact that his family, the ties here. You have several players on the team who have similar situations, and it sounds like you may have another one coming soon that's got a similar situation. How do you handle those recruitments in terms of separating their family name from recruiting them as individuals? And then second question was, you guys do pour so much time into these relationships, and you've gotten players who are committed to other schools to flip to Florida State. How do you handle it when it goes the other way after you invest a lot of time in those relationships?
Yeah, the first question is, each of these guys that come in, I mean, it is their experience, and what I appreciate, whether Camden's a great example. His dad Matt, remarkable family. I mean, the heart, the character, who they are. Him and Carrie. I mean, they're special people. But I told him at the front end, and I remember the first time I sat down with Camden, I said, "This is not about your dad. It's not about your last name. It's about you, and it's our belief in who they are." Now, it almost makes it even more, I would say, challenging, because you have. This is unique. Most of these kids that have family ties, I mean, they've watched the program throughout the course of the year, over their lifetime, really, and it's about painting the picture specifically for them. And so I try to separate that as much as possible. And I think it's something that has been a positive force, because whether it's Matt being a past player, there's an excitement that he has for what his school is doing and what his program is doing, and now for the opportunity for his son to come be a part of it, I mean, it is special. And but I try not to. I don't ever want a player to come here because just a family member attended. It's got to be the right fit for them. And we've got some great ones that have a family legacy here at Florida State, but it's still about them coming to create their own, and that's where I appreciate all of the past players that we've had, that we've recruited their children and their sons, and just to be able to allow us to have that experience with them. And it's really a neat experience, but it's one that it does present its own certain dynamics. And then the second question.
When you invest a lot of time into a player.
Oh yeah. So I mean, that's it's hard. Recruiting. I'm. Like I said, I don't just turn on film and say, "Oh, he's talented. Let's go get him." I mean, we want it all, and we're not half in on building a relationship. We try to pour everything we have into it to present the opportunity. But I always tell guys, I mean, this is your one shot at it. I mean, they go to where you feel is the best fit for you. And there's a lot of different dynamics. There's a lot of things that are important to people. There's you're going to see the swings in recruiting. I mean, it happens. And these are still young kids. I mean, they are. And, whether it's families, families around them, it's the kids' opportunity, it's the kids' choice. And, I wish them all the best. I mean, if, we've had guys that, been committed for a good while, and I mean, you have great relationships and everything feels good, and for whatever reason they don't feel that this is the best fit for them, then so be it. And you wish them all the best in where they're going and what they do. We've had that experience with other guys that we stayed the course in recruitment. It happened last year with Brock. I mean, it was one of those things that. Well, it hurt when he didn't commit to us at the beginning, but we stayed the course and continued to build the relationship and got the opportunity there at the end. So it works both ways, and I try not to, even though it is, I try not to take it personally like this, but it hurts. I mean it does, because I care about these kids, and just because they don't choose Florida State doesn't mean I won't care about them. It's just, you don't get to be a part of the journey with them. But you look at the 21 guys that we're announcing today, and man, you talk about, there's such an excitement and joy because I know we got the right ones. And it's something that I hold true to, and I pray every day that good Lord brings the right young men that we're supposed to coach, and I'm supposed to be able to have a chance to lead and impact. You're here to Florida State. And, I don't know, over the last few years, I mean, this is a dynamic class. I'm sorry, but I don't know what the rankings of it are or will be. I know it's really, really good, right? I felt really good about the last 3 classes, about how these kids fit into what we were doing. And, we might have had some really highly rated players. We might have had some guys that weren't. All I know, it came together as a team that was able to do some really special things in these last few years. And so we're going to continue to build those relationships to help these guys go do all that they can and achieve all that they can. And, there's some that obviously might choose not to come. And, I wish them all the best moving forward. But just like I tell every one of them throughout it, whether you come to Florida State or not, right, I know where we're going. And I told guys that 2-3 years ago. And they're sitting maybe at a different school, and they're watching Florida State do something really special. So it's, I wish them all the best. But I have an unbelievable amount of confidence in where we're going. And today, with the 21 that have been announced, we have a special class coming in that can do incredible things.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, guys.
We'll have each of the assistant coaches and Derek Ray spread out around the room. We got about 25, 30 minutes with them.
Probably won't get them all, so you have a priority. Take a spot, get you set up.
Not in the front.
Going in the back. Spread out.
I'm not surprised.
There's no way.
Oh, yeah, when I go to the back.
He wants to stop there.